people, it's Leona. So I know it's been forever and a day since I put out a video on YouTube. The last video I put out was in January, and I don't know if you could tell by the title of this video, but there's been a reason why I haven't put up a video, and the reason is I was going through a breakup. That's actually one of the two reasons why I haven't been posting videos or filming anything, but the other reason is extremely personal. It has to do with family, and I'm not going to talk about that. And so what had happened was I was in a relationship for close to a year and a half with somebody that I really loved. It was honestly the first time I ever fell in love, and I really did see a future with this person. And all that fell apart in the beginning of January when I received a message from another woman basically explaining to me, dude has not been faithful, and listing, you know, the times they were together, this, that, and the third, and all this stuff. Now, me being an adult, I'm not going to respond to that message because, okay, you told me this, fine. I'm not going to respond to your message. I am going to take it up with the boyfriend. And so I confronted him about it. He came up with this whole big elaborate story that I just wanted to believe. I really wanted to believe the story because I just can't think that somebody that I love so much would hurt me like this. Like, really, dude? Really? Because my whole thing is, I didn't ask to be in this relationship. I didn't ask to be with you. You know? If a relationship isn't what you wanted, then so be it. You know, just come out, be an adult, and tell the person that you're dating or you're with what you are really looking for in a relationship. Now, if you know that that other person is not into that, then you don't need to be with them. But he lied about it, and I wanted to believe him. So this relationship took like a good month and a half to actually die and just actually end. And I learned a lot throughout this month and a half, and I wanted to share the things that I learned. But before I get through all that, you know, the reasons why I really couldn't film is because I was going through a grieving process. You know, this relationship that I thought would last forever just completely ended. And the reason why it ended, it made me feel even worse. And so I was going through some things, you know. I looked it up to see what the 5 stages of grieving is, and you know, it's usually grieving over the death of somebody. But this was the death of a relationship, so I went through the same damn process and the same damn stages. So they said the first stage is denial. Yeah, I was in denial. I can say I was in denial for the course of our entire relationship. Because throughout the relationship, you know, men aren't really that smart, you know, when it comes to trying to hide things, and they can get caught fairly quickly. So there were a few instances throughout our relationship where I noticed some things, and of course I questioned him about it, even though I was afraid to hear what the real answer was going to be. But I have to know, you know. So I questioned him about it, and he lied about it, obviously. That's why we were still together. He lied, and though his lie was ridiculous and didn't make any sense, I still chose to believe it and forget about the situation because I was in denial, you know? I didn't want to deal with the fact that the person that, you know, I love was stepping out on me, was so willing to hurt me like that. You know, I didn't want to believe it. I didn't want to believe that he was that inconsiderate and manipulative and cruel. believe it, so I ignored all those instances. And trust me, there were a few instances. So the denial was throughout the relationship, and also after, you know, everything came out with this message that I received and all that stuff. I just didn't want to believe it. I really didn't want to believe it. I'd rather he would have just said, you know what, I don't want to be with you. Just, what is so hard about saying that, people? What is so hard with saying, you know what, you're a nice person, but this isn't what I want? Yeah, the other person might get mad and upset and be hurt for a little bit, but it's nothing compared to finding out something, you know, after the fact, after you've been in a relationship, share things with each other, and introduce them to family, and this, that, and the third. It's nothing compared to that. So I couldn't deal. I couldn't deal with that. Now the second stage is anger. Yes, folks. Yes, people, I was angry. I was very angry, yes. Because like I said, you know, I was angry that he lied. We're all adults here, and yes, people tell little white lies, or, you know, every now and then, and yes, people do lie, but I felt like our entire relationship was a lie. A year and a half of my life was a lie, and I was so angry about it. So angry to a point where I have fantasies of hurting him, to not just torturing him for hours and maybe days at a time, you know. And then I had fantasies of just hiring people to do it, you know, jump him up in the street, kick his ass, you know, stuff like that. So yes, I definitely went through that phase as well. The third stage, bargaining. So I did a little bargaining, yes. I loved him very much. And even though I've said in the past, I've said this many times, you know, to friends and family, that if I were to find out that somebody cheated on me, I'm not going. I'm not dealing with it. It's point blank, ended this. And I was saying that, never experiencing like love before. You know, it's funny. You know, I've known a lot of people that were in relationships with people that did not deserve them, people that were so obvious the person that they were with just didn't care for them and, you know, didn't love them and were using them, that, you know, I was just like, I couldn't understand why these people would stay in that situation. I did not understand it one bit. And being in this situation, I completely get it now. Yes, this person is doing this, that, and the third to you. This person does not deserve you. Yes, this person, you know, for lack of a better word, is a complete and utter asshole, you know? And you deserve better, and you could do better. However, because you love them, like, you don't think about it that way. You think, you know, you just think about it as, you don't want to think that this person you love so much just doesn't care for you like that, doesn't think like that. So you convince yourself that, oh, he's going to learn the error of his ways, and he's going to realize what, you know, who I am, and that I'm great, and I'm the best thing that's ever going to happen to him. He just doesn't realize it yet, and he's going to realize it. So what I did, you know, after we broke up, you know, I basically was like, so I'm willing to hear about every single indiscretion, but you have to tell me now. You have to tell me about it, and I'll be willing to forgive you and move on from here. Now, in the back of my mind, when I presented that to him, I knew, I was like, if he was going to come out and tell me everything, then I knew that he was going to try, or he wasn't going to lie anymore, and he wasn't going to do what he did again, because he came out and said it. He admitted it, and he would would see the reaction that I had to it and see how much it hurt me, and he would never do it again. That's what I was thinking in presenting that to him. I presented it to him, and what did he do? He lied again. He lied again. And I didn't, okay, I know he was lying, but yet again, you're in denial, this, that, and the third, you know the deal. You know the deal. Anyway, moving on to the next stage. Depression. Yes, hunty, yes, I was depressed. Depressed. There was even one point where my parents had to come and like literally peel me up off the floor, you know, in my apartment and take me over to their home because I just couldn't deal. You know, there were times I would lay in bed all day with nothing but like dirty tissues around me. Wasn't eating. I could not go to work, but you know, when I went to work, the hair was a mess, the outfit was a mess, I was just depressed, you know? So I definitely went through the depression stage as well, and lasted for quite a bit. And now, thankfully, I am in the last stage of acceptance. I have completely accepted the fact that this relationship is over. I've accepted the fact that he wasn't the person that I was supposed to, you know, spend my life with and marry and start a family with. You know, he wasn't that person. I've accepted the fact that he is selfish, manipulative, inconsiderate, a liar, and a cheat. I've accepted the fact that that is the type of person that he is. And because I'm able to accept that, I feel sorry for him. And I feel sorry for, you know, anybody else that is like that. Because if you think about it, that's the only way they know how to get somebody to love or like them. So it's like really sad that they have to go through all that just to get somebody to, you know, feel a certain way about them. So, and it's taken a while for me to get to the acceptance stage, but I'm here, and I just wanted, for the people that are going through this, yes, it's going to be hard, you know, when you initially get out of the situation that you're in, and you're going to think that it's unbearable. I just want you to know that that feeling is completely temporary. What we all have to remember is that the feelings that we have, especially feelings of sadness and being hurt and everything, they don't last, you know, they're temporary. It's not forever, you know, and it might seem like you can't bear it or you can't live without that person in the moment, but just allow yourself to go through all the stages. You're going to have to allow yourself to go through all the stages to actually get to acceptance. And, you know, when you get to acceptance, you can realize that that person was brought into your life for a reason. And that reason was to teach you some sort of a lesson. And I did. I learned a few lessons